welcome back. Welcome back to the Riverside Township Senior Exercise Class. I am your host, Kim Wade, founder of Inner Gaze Yoga and founder of that Inner Circle Healthy Habit Groups for wild women over 40. That's you, I know. Today's class, we are really diving into feeling the way we feel. Remember, yoga's whole purpose is to be able to understand who we are. And by understanding how we feel when we make these functional movements is a beautiful way to start to approach feeling how we feel when we get to know ourselves. It's a beautiful practice, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's jump on the chair or on the mat, and I'll see you soon. Namaste. Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be stretching our inner body. Did you know we have an inner body? We have an inner body. The inner body is our breath, or our prana, or our chi, or in yoga we call it the life force. How you feel is how you breathe. Did you know that? When you're feeling anxious, you breathe in a very choppy way. When you're feeling calm and peaceful, you breathe in a longer way. So how you breathe and how you feel are very much linked. The other thing about our breath is when we notice ourselves breathing, it's moving the body in an animated way. So think about this. Here's my bag of bones, right? My bag of bones, my big old sack. And if I wasn't breathing, it would just be slumped over. But as soon as I start to activate this breath body, this physical body of mine starts to get animated. It's what makes me come alive. So let's come alive today. Are you ready for some of that? Here we go. We're going to take ourselves into a posture that's right on the edge of your chair. And as always, we want to be sitting up nice and tall. Okay? First step, always, is just checking in. Now, when I say we're checking in, basically what I mean is we're just sort of putting a pause button, like on the old VCRs. We're pausing the button to see how we're feeling today, or how we're presenting, how we're showing up. Are we showing up feeling cranky? Are we showing up with a headache? How are you presenting today to this yoga time? So let's take a minute here and check in. How am I showing up? The first step to mindfulness. How is this bag of bones? How is this inner body, this breath? How's it flowing? Does it feel like it goes to one area more than the other? We don't want to judge it. We don't want to fix anything. There's nothing broken about any of us, right? We just want to notice. How am I showing up today? What's going on with me? And the second step is, can I just be with it? And sometimes when we are in these steps, right, we're looking at how we're showing up and we're asking, can I just be with it? It's also nice to remember that we're here together. I mean, we are here together. You're not doing this all by yourself. We are having this community time to all check in. I know I always feel very comfortable knowing there's a community of people who want to be moving their bodies, who want to be noticing their breath, showing up authentically. And I'm really glad that you're here with us, that we're all here sitting still for a moment together. Okay? So the first thing I want us to do, as I just said, how we breathe, how we feel, how we feel, how we breathe. They're very, very related. In the old days, we talked about going outside and counting to 10 when you were angry. Now we say, go outside and take 8 mindful breaths. 8 mindful breaths calms the nerves down. That's it, 8 mindful breaths. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to take 8 mindful breaths, but I want to teach you a couple of different ways of breathing that you could use when you need them. So one of my favorite ones is if you're feeling anxious or you're feeling, you're perseverating on something or you're in that worry cycle, this breathing technique will sort of anchor you in a very positive way. And the way I describe it is ask your teenagers to take out the garbage. Right? That's what happens at my house. Hey, will you take out the garbage? And that's the breathing technique. So let's try it. In through the nose. Take out the garbage. You could roll your eyes if you really want to get into it. Inhale. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. 5 more. Enjoy it, right? Those big old sighs. 3 more. Feels good to move your breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. 1 more. Beautiful. So that's a technique whenever you feel sort of what we call vata deranged. It means you're windy and you're just all over the place. It's a very grounding and anchoring breath. The second breath I want to talk about is what's called samavriti. It's an equal breathing pattern. And really, there's nothing else I could teach you that's as important as this. This really is the secret sauce to all the things that yoga can offer, is an even breathing pattern. So this is a hugely important thing to remember. How long do I inhale is the same length of my exhale. Okay, so inhaling, count how many your inhales are. And then count how long your exhale is. Let's do it again. Inhale, count how long your inhale is. And then count how long your exhale is. See if you can make them even. If your exhale, you could just exhale all day long, but the inhale is a little bit more challenging, then you're going to want to back up that exhale a little bit. So an inhale for 4 and an exhale for 4 is a really solid pattern for a beginner. Inhale for 6, exhale for 6 is a really solid pattern for someone who's a little bit more intermediate. So we're going to take about 5 more breaths. See if you can challenge that samavriti, same pattern, okay? There's a saying in yoga that we live the way we breathe. So when you're someone who gives a lot, you give more than you have, you burn out, your exhales could be 2 days long and you don't have enough inhale. You're not taking in enough as much of you're giving away. Sometimes we're takers and we take in big inhales, but we hold back. I'm not going to give too much of my exhale. So part of getting to know ourselves, remember that's the path of yoga, to know ourselves, and we'll talk about that in a later class. But the idea that you're able to just notice that I can be calm and consistent, I can take in what I give out, and I can give out what I have in, okay? About 2 more breaths. Samavriti, equal inhale, equal exhale. Yeah, feels nice. And you know what we're doing right now besides breathing? We're meditating, because when we pull our mind to focus on one thing, that's what meditation is. So you're meditating right now on your breath. And I bet you didn't even know that. Let's see if we can bring what we call some flow in, okay? And this is when yoga gets really magical, when you can be breathing and moving at the same time. So let's challenge ourselves to do this together. Drop your hands down by your sides. And now take a big inhale. Ready? Reach your arms up. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your palms down. Come down. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Some of you might take it all the way to the sky. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, spread your wings, the wings of your heart. And exhale, 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 all the way down. Beautiful. Keep that breathing going for the rest of your life. Okay, now watch this. We're going to continue breathing. I want you to go ahead and grab the back of your chair. If you have arms on the chair and they're in your way, it's best to not have arms, but you do you, right? You find a way to do you, either holding onto the arms, holding onto the lip, or holding onto the back. And we're going to find a series of back bends. But before we do, let me tell you, what's happening here in your lower back is a mirror of what's happening up here in your neck. So if you're schlumpy here in your back, you're schlumpy here in your neck. And yes, schlumpy is the technical term there, schlumpy. Come on, say it with me, schlumpy. It feels schlumpy. So watch this. If I don't want to be schlumpy in my lower back, my tailbone's pointing to my knees, all I have to do is turn my tailbone back, and look what happened to my neck. It opened up. So they're mirror curves, and that's what we're going to be playing with. All right, take your hands back where you are. What is a back bend? A back bend is any time we express the front rib cage. So if we're opening up that front rib cage, we're in a back bend. Okay, here we go. Exhale out. 4, 3, exhale, 2, 1. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale. If you want to take out the garbage breath again, you could do that with your mouth open. If you feel like you're getting a little bit more, you could keep your lips closed. Maybe you'll add the chin lifting up if it feels safe on your neck. One more time, inhale, reach it up. Big expression of the front ribs. Open your legs a little bit wider. We're gonna dive forward, keeping the lift here. Inhale. Let go of the chair, keep the lift, keep the lift, keep the lift, all the way over and drop. Don't fall out of the chair. That would be the most important thing here. Inhale, halfway up, big breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Find the back bend, expressing those front ribs, and exhale down. 2 more big inhale. And exhale. This next time we're going to sit all the way up. Inhale, slide yourself up, 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 up. And release those ribs. And pause. So some of you, I know, probably are brand spanking new to yoga. Some of you might have done it earlier in your life and you're just now returning. Wherever you are is a beautiful place to be. Some of the emails I get are, I can't do yoga, my hamstrings are too tight. I can't do yoga, my belly's too big. I can't do, all the reasons we can't do yoga. But yoga meets you where you are. So if you have asthma, if you have COPD, if you have some sort of sinus issues, there's always something for you to do. Yoga is going to meet you where you are. So let it come to meet you wherever you are, okay? Let's do one more big old breath here. And exhale. Okay. Continuing on with our stretching of our inner body, we're going to add a little bit of a rotation with our shoulders. So I want you to watch me for a moment and then join us. First thing we're going to do is rotate our head, okay? Inhale, I turn, and then I turn. Then I turn. We want to keep those ears nice and level as we're turning. There's a common idea that this is one of the first things that we lose as we get older, is the ability to turn our head, because we're not doing it so much. So double check how it feels to turn your head. Now the next time that you are looking to the left, stay there, but turn your torso to the right. So we're doing the opposite. And we're going to put the magic back in. You ready for some magic? Raise your hand. No, don't raise your hand. Okay, here we go. Inhale. And turning the torso to the right, looking to the left. Exhale. Can you use the breathing to help you in the pose? Keep looking. One more. Beautiful. And inhale, come back to center and pause. Could you feel that we just turned to the one side? Can you notice that? All right. Now, before we go to the other side, we're going to do what's called cat and cow. Okay? Inhale, big opening on the front ribs. Exhale, kiss the back wall with your spine. Grab the knees, drop the chin. Inhale up. And exhale. Now, if your neck feels tight and you're not happy with these postures, then just move the spine and keep your head neutral. Again, it meets you where you are. And some of you might even feel dizzy. You haven't been breathing like this in a long time, and it might make you feel a little scared because you're getting a little bit dizzy. It's okay. One more. We're moving our prana. We're moving our life force. We're turning ourselves on. That's what we're doing. We're turning ourselves on. We're not just schlumpy, right? We're animated. We're ready. We're in integrity and graceful. Let's go to the other side here. Turn to the right and turn your torso to the left. 5 breaths. Big inhale and exhale. So in yoga philosophy, they talk about the sunrise, the midday, and the sunset part of life, right? The sunrise, the midday, the sunset. Shakespeare talked about it too. Many people talk about it. But one of the ideas from yoga's perspective is from 0 to 20 is the sunrise of our life. This is when we're building the stability, building the structure, building those bones and muscles. From 20 to about 60 is when we maintain that ability of whatever we built in our 0 to 20. After that age is our sunset, is when we really come into this breath work, into this connection to spirit. So as we're moving, we got one more breath here. Feels so good. Come on back to neutral. As we're moving our breath, we are really aligning with where we are in our phase of life. So gently close your eyes right now. And feel, this is your life force. Let your breath seep into the area between your bones. Let it soak into your tissues. Let it surround the love in your heart. Now, we don't have to be religious to talk about spirit. To me, spirit is breath. It's just life. So can you move that life? And not only can you move your life force as we're doing, but it's almost like if you're watering the garden, you know, the flowers in the way back, you got to put your thumb over that water hose to squirt it in the back, deliberately aiming it. Can you deliberately aim your breath, your spirit, your prana? So let's challenge ourselves to do that right now. Can you breathe behind your heart? Sounds kind of crazy. Can you breathe back? I'm going to turn so you can see me. I can almost slouch a little bit. See if you can push the air into certain areas. Again, we're meditating when we focus our mind. I had a soldier just return home from war one time tell me that this breath feels like a hug from the inside. Doesn't it feel like a hug from the inside? So peaceful, so balancing, so nurturing. And every time you exhale, it's like you're giving your spine a big hug. 2 more breaths. You can see why taking 8 of these is going to make you chilled out, right? If you're feeling cranky, just going and feeling this love, this movement of your spirit, of your breath, brings you back to who you really are, right? Who you truly are. Last one. So nice. We're going to come into what they call pigeon pose. So this is not for everybody. If you have an achy knee or you've had surgery in any way, maybe you'll just cross your ankle over. Some of you can lift that leg up and put the ankle on that thigh. If this stresses you out in any way, I want you to skip it and just do your best to open that hip, okay? Some of you coming up here, it's really important that you don't have floppy feet, right? Who wants a floppy foot? Turn those toes to the kneecap. That's gonna keep that nice and open. And now let's see if we can sink the breath into this right hip. It's impossible, but we're pretending. Here we go. Can you send the breath to this right hip? Perhaps you can hear how loud my breath is. It's like I'm fogging up my sunglasses. Maybe you'd even take it over a little bit. One more deep breath. And beautiful. Come on out of that. Maybe give your knee some hello. Tell your knee thank you. Send it a little Valentine's Day card. It's done a lot for you. Appreciate that knee. Knees, shoulders, lots of love. Let's switcheroo. Take this other leg up. Again, if this hip is achy, the knee is achy, skip it. Otherwise, come on back up here to the ankle. Turn the toe onto the kneecap and resist the urge to push on the knee. You can push above the knee if you want to, but we want to be careful not to push on the joint. And we're going to take 5 mindful breaths. You can keep the breath moving, and again, it's meditative. It's meditative. I've had a lot of people tell me that when they're waiting for an appointment or they're waiting for something that makes them a little nervous, they work on their breath and it keeps them calm, right? Because our brain doesn't know if things are real. It doesn't know what's happening. It's the way our breath is moving that sort of triggers some of that, so we can keep ourselves calm, peaceful by having this equal Samavriti pattern. 2 more. Like a hug from the inside, stretching that inner body. And gently, gently, gently come on out. Give that knee some love. Thank you so much, left knee. I appreciate you. And let's finish with our breath, but I hope you practice this all week. There's homework this week. All week long, I want you to be practicing this even inhale, even exhale. To end today, I want you to meditate on your nostrils. How fun is that, right? I want you to be focusing on these little nostrils. Close your eyes. Let's turn on that inner gaze, right? That inward glance. And I want you to see if you can notice that when you breathe in, the air is cool, but when you breathe out, it's warmer. See if you can feel the temperature. Maybe you can't, or maybe you've got a deviated septum or some sort of blockage in your nostril. You can always use your fingers to help with opening, but I'd like you to turn that chattery mind on just watching yourself breathe. We're going to meditate for 1 minute together. And again, thanks for being here with us today. This is really important work that you're doing, and it's nice that we're here all together, sitting still for a moment. 1 minute. Cool air in, warm air out. Two more deep breaths. How do you feel now compared to when we started, right? It's powerful stuff, this yoga. Thank you so much for coming today. As always, may this work be of benefit to you. Deep bows to you all. I'll see you next time.